Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence? Give me the shade. Headings, rush.
Oh, hey, the new king in town. Young and old, gather round. Yeah. Black and white, red and green. The funkiest thing you've ever seen.
Say what his name is.
Party man, rock a party like nobody can. Rules and regulations, no place in this nation. Party man, party people say it now.
$1 bill.
Somebody holler if you wanna party.
I kind of like this one, Bob. Leave it.
What's up, guys? We're back. Hey, it's a 2025 NFL season, guys. It's finally kicking off, all right? I'm stoked. Danny's stoked. Everyone is stoked. It's time, all right? It's time. The time has finally come, all right? Now, something happened tonight, okay, that we're going to talk a little bit about. Me and Danny are going to talk about it. This is something that kind of, obviously people either love it or you hate it. So let's talk a little fantasy, all right? Let's talk a little fantasy football, okay? So tonight, me and Danny, we had our fantasy football draft. Now we're going to be doing our draft, or we're going to be, playing each other week 10. We're going to give you kind of like a preview as to like how week 10 is kind of going to, shape up between us two. But we're going to list kind of our team and kind of, get your opinion as to how our team kind of shaped up. So Danny, let's go ahead. Let's get started. Based off of how many people are in our league, I mean, we don't have too many people in our league, but regardless, I mean, our teams ended up really, really stacked.
Yeah, it's a relatively small league, just close friends, but
yeah,
you can say that the bench is pretty stacked as well. It's pretty deep leagues. I feel okay. I feel like I might have missed out on a few picks. I feel like I might have gotten jacked by Kellen here on a few picks. But
I don't even want to hear about getting jacked on picks. Let me tell you why. I have a moneymaker. I have a moneymaker pick. Danny, you want to tell me who my moneymaker pick is that you stole from me?
Well, okay, so the thing is that in the years
here
that
comes
we
an
played,
explanation.
every year I try and get him. I think the last 2 years in a row, and Kellen goes ahead and steals Josh Allen. So I knew I was the last pick in the draft, so I had to take my shot. I said, you know what? If I don't take him now, I'm not going to get him.
You took him in like the 4th round, right?
It was like
the fourth round. That was ridiculous. I was like, it's the 4th fucking round, dude. I mean, come on, like cut me a little bit of slack. Considering what my 4th round pick was?
I've never done that before. Usually, like, I'll take Josh Allen in the 5th in my mock drafts. Usually, I don't like to take a quarterback until, like, the 8th or 9th round. But I knew that if I let it slip past me, Kellen was going to get this guy that I wanted. And you know what? I don't regret it.
I do. I'm pissed that I didn't think anyone was gonna get him. I mean, like the way I started. Okay, I mean, like so my first round pick, my first round draft pick was Jamar Gibbs. Okay, or Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm sorry if I'm saying his first name wrong, but my first pick was Jahmyr Gibbs. I think that was a good pick. I mean, overall, last year he absolutely tore it up. I mean, looking at his stats, he didn't have a single game under 10 points. I mean, his worst game was against Chicago, which he got 10.4 points, but he was very consistent. Against Minnesota, he scored 46 points, dude. I mean, just absolutely amazing. He had 23 attempts, 139 yards with 3 touchdowns, dude. Like, if you're putting up numbers like that, then hell yeah, I'm going to target you. Hell yeah, that's going to be someone that I want on my team. Now, as far as Danny's draft, as far as how he kind of went about it, let's see who he went Justin Jefferson, first draft pick. Okay, Justin Jefferson. What's your logic behind Justin Jefferson?
He was. I mean, he has the most yards ever since he's entered the league in 2020, 2022. He's logging over 7,000 yards. Is he going to produce? I mean, I'm willing to take that risk on Justin Jefferson. Like I said, he did fall to me. He was projected to go a little bit earlier, so I don't think that's a name that you can say, "Oh, look, it's a gamble." He produces every year. He really does. So, I mean, if this is the
so
year
you
that
think
he
even
produce,
with J.J. McCarthy,
I mean, I like the kid. I do. I really do. And it was better than taking Christian McCaffrey. That's for sure.
oh my god, I know. Danny was trying to tempt me as far as getting Christian McCaffrey, and I threw the biggest. Like for me, it wasn't a no. It was a fuck no, dude. I was like, hell no, I ain't picking that, dude. Ain't no way in hell I am picking Christian McCaffrey. Like, I am sorry. He is a great runner. He's a great player. But the dude is made of glass, dude. I mean, so last year you had Christian McCaffrey, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Yep. And it really hurt. I was playing waivers all year long.
Oh gosh.
And the thing is, I've had him 2 years. We've been doing this draft for about 4 years now. I've got him twice, and every time that I pick him, he just, not that I don't think he's a great talent, but he just, every time he sits out like half the season. I'm not willing to take that risk anymore.
Just shits the bed. Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those things where, like, he is a great player when he's healthy. But when is he ever healthy? And it's always like the dumbest shit that I see. Like, oh, he's got a toe sprain. I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. And then he's out for fucking 3 weeks. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, you're absolutely demolishing fantasy teams right now. One snag that I did get that actually dropped. And Danny, I want your opinion on this. I managed to grab Brock Bowers. I was a little on the fence about this. What do you think about that pick?
I think we're going to have to look to see what the chemistry is between Geno Smith and Brock Bowers now. But, I mean, you can't deny that he's easily now, after just a year, he's one of the top tight ends, especially in fantasy. He's young, he's fast, he's strong. He's probably going to be one of the main focal points of that offense. I mean, who else do they have? Stephon Diggs. I do like the pick. I do. But this is a controversial one between us, where Kellen, during the live chat, questioned me taking Genty. Why is that questionable to you?
I don't know. Okay, he didn't perform as well as I thought he was going to perform in the preseason. That's why I thought he was going to absolutely pop off. That's why, like, Henderson, I was really, really drawn to Henderson. It's not just because I'm a Patriots fan. It's honestly because he kind of showed, like, hey, he deserves that RB1 spot for the New England Patriots. Now, Genty, obviously, they have a lot of faith in the kid. I still think he has a lot of potential. Now, am I completely off? Am I completely saying, like, oh, this kid sucks, he's not going to do good? No, not in the slightest. I do think that he is going to perform. I think that he does deserve a high pick in a draft. However, I do not think that, picking him, as high as you did, like, I mean, obviously people are going to pick him high, but I just feel like he's not that caliber just yet. However, I have been wrong in the past. I have definitely been wrong in the past, and I'm going to be the first one to say that I was wrong. I was wrong about the Longhorns the other day. Okay, I will be honest about that. But
I think
I'll tell you
the
what,
main
if J&T does pop off, we'll see. You know, but like I always say, hindsight's 2020. We're gonna have to see.
yeah, the main reason that I really thought about it is that um, I don't know how much we're gonna believe in the Geno Smith passing offense. He may do good. I hope not. And this is big on me for picking a Raiders player going into
That's true.
the
That's
second,
true.
third round. But like the fall off from the next running back, I didn't think it was worth it. But Pete Carroll's really been known for being kind of like I know he's a defensive guy, but he likes to have a steady pace of game manager type situations, run the ball, play action. So I think that Genty is going to get his touches at the very least.
I hope he does. I mean, I really hope he does. He's one of those players where I want to see him develop. One player that remained on the board was Travis Hunter, and I do want to bring him up. Reason being is, so he did express that he wants to play both sides of the ball. He wants to play offense, and he does want to play defense. However, I think that the fact that, because I did have a fantasy draft prior to this draft, so I've already had one draft. I've already kind of seen how it's kind of working out a little bit. And he fell in that draft as well. So he's a free agent in that league as well. Now, do you think that this is because they're primarily going to be using him as cornerback? Do you see him primarily playing defense?
I do see him primarily being played on defense. I don't think could you imagine a player in the NFL getting what 120 snaps a game? That's going to be very hard to manage. You're getting your 70 snaps on offense. You're getting the equal amount on defense. He's going to have to split that up. That's going to be hard to sustain throughout the season. So how many games is he going to get? Even 10 touches? I wouldn't take the risk on that.
No. So you do see him playing primarily defense.
Yeah. I mean, he's
with the guy we're playing.
He's a born and bred corner who has so much talent that he's available to play wide receiver, but I don't think that it's worth it to the body deteriorates throughout the season.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as your sleeper pick, who would you consider being your sleeper pick in this draft?
You know what? I wouldn't say I'd have a big sleeper pick. One player who did fall to me that I was like kind of iffy on. It was Devontae Adams with Matthew Stafford. I don't know if that's going to work out. That was kind of a risky pick for me, but I was like, you know what? If it does work, then there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, so I did wind up with Puka on my team.
Yeah.
And, obviously he went high. I'm sure he went high in most leagues. He's a 99% rostered player.
Yeah.
Do I think that he's going to pop off this year? I do think so. But I do agree with you, and I base it off of his performances, his performance in Las Vegas as well. I do. I think that he kind of, was very disappointing in Las Vegas, in my opinion. Now, to that degree, obviously, so nobody in our league drafted this guy, but this is something I kind of just want to touch on a little bit. Let me know what your thoughts are. But Amari Cooper to the Raiders, do you see him performing at that Amari Cooper caliber that we used to see him, prior to Dallas Cowboys, when he first started on the Raiders? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Wasn't he? Where did he go after that? He was on the Browns, correct?
Yeah, he went where players go to die, where careers go to die. He went on the Browns for a little bit, and then he went and he played for the Bills.
Oh, yeah, yes. I mean, it really depends on how much you believe in Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith he's been in the league for a long time. The Raiders are the Raiders, but they have a Super Bowl winning head coach and college coach that has shown that he can, perform at the highest levels, and Pete Carroll, who can, best friend to a quarterback is the defense. So maybe, maybe it really depends on how they develop the pass game with Geno Smith in in LA or
Do you
LV,
believe in
Las
Geno
Vegas.
Smith? So do you
No,
believe in
that's why I
Geno
drafted.
Smith?
That's
No.
why I drafted Genty.
That's what he's got to see. You know, I said before that I didn't believe in him, but I'm going to take that statement back. I really am. I think I'm going to have to go and I'm going to say, hey, I think I'm going to ride with Geno Smith. I'm going to take him on this one. I think with the weapons that he has, he might be able to perform. I'm not gonna say that he's gonna underperform. I did actually take Jacoby Myers, which I think might have been a risk for me because he has stated kind of his displeasure with the organization and such. And like I say, hindsight is 2020. We're gonna see how that works out. But that was a risky decision. But like I said, and like you said, Danny, with Geno Smith, this is going to be one of those things where his performance is, going to be the driving factor here with these players. Brock Bowers finally has a good quarterback, so we're going to see how he performs,
Right before I ask you this question, this guy stole my boy from me in Cortland Sutton, late in the draft. It was probably seventh or eighth rounder. But anyways, who would you say is your sleeper on your roster? So a player that you think that's going to pop off that nobody else expects to.
I have him on my bench right now. And I'm sure I'll end up taking him off. But that's going to be Trayvon Henderson on the Patriots. And again, I'm not just saying it because I'm a Patriots fan, but a lot of people are considering him as someone who is going to be, obviously the future of the organization, but someone that's going to really show his colors. I mean, this is someone that I personally thought the Broncos were going to take. Had the Patriots not taken him, I definitely could have seen him playing for the Broncos. And I mean, I remember talking to you, and I remember talking to my boy Pat, and I was just saying, hey, I think he's going to the Broncos. I see him going to the Broncos. He has that power. But, I think that he's going to be that player that we're going to see take that next step. And this rookie season is really going to show the kind of player that he is, the caliber of player he is. So I'm excited to see what he has, and I think he's going to be my sleeper pick. I think he's going to be that guy that really shows up, who's going to end up starting the entire year for me. But like I said, hindsight's 2020. We're going to have to go ahead and check to see what happens. So, yeah, that's going to be my sleeper pick for this year, dude. But aside from that, guys, Danny, what else do you got for me?
10 out of 10. Let's clean this up. Out of 10, where would you rate your roster? Where do you feel? How comfortable do you feel with your roster? Like compared to the other stacked rosters that we have, which there are a lot.
Compared to the other rosters, I'm going to go with a 7.8.
7.8.
Reason being, I feel like my wide receiver core could be a little bit better. I got Ladd McConkey, Puka Nacua, and then I got Mike Evans as my flex. I do got Brock Bowers as my tight end. My running backs, I got Jahmyr Gibbs and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, the thing about him is I got to have him healthy. I got to keep him healthy. So Ladd McConkey and Puka. Now, if we can get Justin Herbert staying consistent, we know Ladd really, really popped off. That was his number one target. Puka, if Devontae Adams isn't performing the way that we expect him to, underperform, Puka's gonna be that number one guy. So obviously, I think that Puka and Ladd, they're good. Are they that caliber of player where I would say that they're explosive, amazing players like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase? I would not, put them in that same category. Puka's close, Ladd isn't. So I think my weakness is going to be my wide receiver core. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and rate my team at a 7.8. Wrapping it up, Danny, what do you give your team?
I'm gonna take it a little bit lower, only because I'm I think I took a lot of gambles in terms of the quarterback play for some of the positions that I took, like Geno Smith, like J.J. McCarthy. I actually took two players from the Vikings. No, Hawkinson's. Where does Hawkinson's play again?
I'm pretty sure he plays for the Vikings. No, I think you're right. He plays for the Vikings.
Still plays for the Vikings. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I took a big gamble there. You know, I know the Vikings were successful last year, but we're gonna have to see if this guy J.J. McCarthy can produce. Other than that, it really comes down to a lot of gambles. I know that Matthew Stafford has been talking about this might be his retirement tour, but mostly I feel like I got a strong combo with Josh Allen and James Cook, so that's going to carry me. I got AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, but we're going to have to see. Like I said, yeah. So I'm more comfortable with the top of my roster. Once it gets down a little bit, I'm kind of a little bit questionable. I got T. Higgins. With one of my last picks, I got J.K. Dobbins, but I don't think that's going to work out.
You don't think so? Even as a Bronco fan?
It's more of a committee room, I think. I think they're going to split reps, so I'm not sure how much he's going to produce.
Okay. I can see that. I do have Dobbins on my other league. Reason being, as I did think that he was going to be kind of that player that we could see kind of, have that
He does have the veteran
leadership
presence.
and that experience. Yeah, the experience that,
yeah.
the backfield needs for Denver. All right, awesome. Dan, you got anything else before we close this one out?
No, sir.
No, sir. Awesome. Cool. Aside from that, guys, we appreciate you guys listening as always. Guys, new season, new content. We're going to be hashing it out, looking at shorts, looking at pods, all right? We love you guys, and keep the faith.